Hi there, Internet Associate. It's Anthony, and I'm about to watch another episode of The Walking Dead. This is Season 2, Episode 4, and it goes by the name of Cherokee Rose. So, last episode, it looked like Carl was finally out of the woods. They were able to get him the care that he needed, and it looks like he'll be alright. But, on the other hand, the person that's not out of the woods yet is Sophia. We still haven't found her. Okay, I'm sorry, that was funny. I didn't even mean to do that. But anyway, we still haven't found her yet. And I'm wondering if we are ever going to find her like this season. Because it's like, goodness, I was not expecting this to drag on this long. Like, I thought they would have found Sophia by now. It's crazy how long they're really stretching this out and, like, making these characters have to, like, really fight and search to find her. Like, I thought it was going to be like a one episode thing. So it's cool that this was something that like actually had some real repercussions over the course of multiple episodes. And I'm also going to be interested to see if they do find Sophia, how this little experience and excursion or whatever has affected her, and if like it's just going to be like they find her and she's just okay, hunky dory, or will they find her and then they start to notice some lasting effects that this experience has had on her. So also Shane was going through stuff last episode. He went and left Otis. He shot Otis and left him there for the walkers to kill him. He shaved his head and everything. He seems to be becoming a different man. So, interested to see where that's headed. Interested to see where everybody's headed, man. These characters are going through a lot, and I just want to know what's going to happen to them next and how they're going to get through all of this, if they even will. So let's go ahead and continue. The Walking Dead, Season 2, Episode 4, Cherokee Rose. Oh yeah, they're all going up there.
Sophia. Is she okay?
No.
Fine. She's fine.
Why are we lying to him? Come on, Carl, where's your beard? Rick grew a beard.
In Grace. Shane,
He's making
will
Shane
you
speak.
for Otis?
I'm not good at it. See, that's what he said.
Oh my gosh.
He gave me his backpack. He shoved me ahead. Run, he said.
I guess the only way they can ever find out the truth is if Shane tells them. And I wonder if he'll ever do that.
You heard Rick. We're guests here.
And you're okay with it?
I don't recall being asked to lay down your weapon.
You mean like rolling over?
Oh my gosh. I get you just finally got a gun, but still, it's his property, and he's done a lot for y'all.
Point. It lets you off the hook. You don't owe us anything.
All the plans fell through.
Yeah, Daryl's a good guy, man.
We could give you more space. Set up over by the barn.
No need for that. I can't have your people thinking this is permanent. Once you find this girl and your boy's fit for travel, I expect you'll move on.
That is definitely fair.
We just need to know where to find it.
Try the feminine hygiene section.
Yeah, enough said. Consider done.
Wait, what? What is it? Like, what is it that is such a big deal that it has to be this, like, this discreet? I mean, it feels like in the midst of everything, like, any type of just hygiene products you could be needing to get would be pretty reasonably expected.
I'd rather you never told anybody about that stuff I said.
What stuff?
What stuff?
I couldn't get a word out of you all day.
Wow.
What's their part?
What's
Am I
going
right?
on? What you got there, Dale?
Do your part. Don't complain. That's what I always say.
I wouldn't drink that if I were you.
What in the world? He said it was pure water. Let's see how pure it really is.
Looks like we got us a swimmer.
What is that?
Good plan. If that thing hasn't contaminated the water yet, blowing its brains out will finish the job.
Yeah, she's right. Can't risk it.
I don't care how contaminated or not contaminated it is. Like, after that thing has been in the water, I would not want to drink it. I mean, I guess if it's like a situation like this where it's a pretty limited supply and, you'd be hard pressed to find a lot of water elsewhere, I guess you have to. But Oh my goodness, that was disgusting.
Entirely. If she went that direction, she'd be miles from where we looked.
Rick, take a moment.
And when,
Come look.
man, it just feels like this is like becoming an impossible task the longer this takes, man. Getting nervous. If this was like real life, I would really think there was no chance we were gonna find Sophia. I'm not gonna lie.
We need live bait.
An animal? Wait, are they gonna put Glenn down there? I was wondering, why are they looking at Glenn like that? I'm like, I was thinking that in my head, like Glenn. But I was like, there's no way they're just gonna put Glenn down there. Why is Glenn always the guy that's volunteered for stuff? I swear this happens like every episode. Some of these happen, they're like, oh, and Glenn, you do this. Glenn, you'll do that. Actually, wait, we need some. Oh, Glenn. Like, it's like Glenn is always the guy. Leave Glenn alone sometimes. Jeez. Man. That thing is disgusting.
Yeah, doing great.
Something's gonna go wrong. Yep. I'm gonna grab it. Murphy's Law, man, it's real. Y'all better. Oh, what if that thing moves? Oh, wait, hold on. That was a cool shot. That's so cool how they did that. They had to start all the way up there. And it went all the way down straight. Did they splice that together with something? Like, or was that, like, because the way it sped up, it made it look like they could have, like, maybe spliced it right there. And, no, I don't think so. Like, man, is that all one shot? That's pretty cool.
Are you okay?
Now, can y'all stop volunteering Glenn for everything? Look what just happened. You're starting to creep in with that eerie music. Something's coming. Oh, sardines? I used to love sardines. I would just eat sardines like all day as a kid. When they do find Sophia, I'm sure it's gonna be something we're not expecting. Like, it's taking so long. Somehow this is gonna be, they're not just gonna find her, like, you know, shaking, quivered up somewhere hiding. It's gonna be something we're not expecting, I think.
Pull it, guys! It's stuck! Come on!
Like, T-Dog, you right there. Grab him by the hand. Pull him up. No, stop that thing from going down. That's it for the water, man.
What do we do about it?
This thing is nasty. I don't like
didn't
it.
do anything stupid like shoot it.
Oh man. Well, I mean, yeah, that would have saved you a lot of trouble and ended with the same result. But they didn't know that at the time, so it was worth trying, you know, to actually do it that way. But that sucks that it didn't end up working out. They left her food
Never
and
know,
drinks.
Carol.
She's like, nothing you can say right now. Positive thoughts will only take you so far. I mean, like, not that you shouldn't think positively, but like, just saying, yeah, well, we'll find her, we'll get her. Like, at a certain point, that only does so much, because it's like, well, you don't know any more than me. You can't see the future. You don't know that's gonna happen.
Nothing easy about taking a man's life, no matter how little value it may have. But when you get it done, you have to forget it.
This sounds like Shane justifying what he did to
Yes, I
himself.
haven't quite got that last part down yet.
It's the kind of thing I do on my own. Solo.
Solo.
Sort of my thing, you know? I'm a loner.
Feel you, Glenn. Thanks for letting me borrow that Bugatti the other day, by the way. It's a pregnancy test.
What you got?
That's why she wanted him to be discreet. I was like, what in the world does she need that has to be so discreet?
Condoms.
she's
You got a
like,
girlfriend I don't
she's
know
like, what do you think this is?
about?
I mean, no. No.
Then you're a pretty confident guy.
Wow.
I would never.
Something wrong with me?
Oh my
No.
gosh.
No, I would, I would never have sex.
He said I would never have sex.
I'll have sex with you.
Really?
I mean, it is the end of the
Why?
world. This escalated very quickly. That was the best accident Glenn ever made in his life. Wow, Lori with the pregnancy test though. Huh. That's gonna be some drama. If that ends up turning back with a happy face or whatever the thing is, that means it's positive. A plus sign. I don't know. I've never taken a pregnancy test before, so.
You put me on the spot.
Well, I mean to.
He said, I mean to.
Those people look to me for answers. I wish they didn't, but they do. But I lied to him this morning.
About Sophia.
Wasn't a big lie, but it was enough.
Kind of a big lie.
Not regret it. Some men do not earn the love of their sons. I don't see you having that problem.
Definitely not. Rick has not failed Carl at all. Like, he's been a huge success. This man is smiling so hard.
Don't spoil it. Did you find it?
What if he's like, oh crap, I forgot all about that.
Cherokee Rose.
Title. Cherokee
The
Rose.
story is that when American soldiers were moving Indians off their land, they were grieving and crying so much because they were losing their little ones along the way. Exposure and disease,
Please tell me this rose doesn't
starvation.
represent Sophia.
Prayer asked for a sign to uplift the mother's spirits, give them strength. This one, bloom for your little girl.
Okay. That thinking, I was kind of scared it was about to go a slightly different direction. To where like the flowers represented those lost or that died or something. I'm like, oh my gosh, no. That would be terrible. It's like confirmation. Yeah, I think she's dead. But okay, yeah, that's pretty nice.
Yeah, I was getting ready to confess.
Still
I
means a
didn't
lot
mean
that you were
lie.
going
I
to
just
confess.
didn't want to worry you. It's a stupid excuse, but it's all I got.
It's okay. Do you think we'll find her?
I know we will. I don't.
Yeah, you know now.
No, but I truly believe it.
I'm glad he made that distinction because I was really just about
Yeah.
to say, like, don't say you know something that you don't know. Just say you believe it. I feel like, I don't know, eventually saying things like, we will definitely do this. I know we'll do this gets kind of old because you don't know that. And if it doesn't happen, like, you know, it takes some of the weight away from it and from your words, I feel like. So you truly believe it, like he did.
Maybe you'll let me borrow it from time to time.
Sure. Sure.
Share it with the sheriff,
I love you, Dad.
who happens to be your parent,
I love you.
and says the same thing as you like a parrot. And has a gold star that he likes to stare at. Okay, that last one was a bit of a stretch. What's going on? She gonna stab herself or something? She gonna do like an abortion? Over the well where nobody will question the blood? Oh. She hasn't even taken the test yet. Urinating. There's a plus sign. Did it happen when that time we saw in the woods? Or what? Alright, so one thing that I liked about this episode was it was a bit different from a lot of the other episodes we've seen before, just in that I felt like it had a bit of a more low-key feel to it. We didn't have a lot of walkers and, you know, zombie-esque type stuff going on this episode. Aside from the thing in the well, that wasn't really a focus in this episode. And, you know, I said at the beginning of the series that I'm not even really that much of a fan of, like, zombie type stuff anyway. Like, I can get into it if there's, like, you know, other stuff going on around it that, you know, is really making it interesting and really making, you know, for unique and interesting characters. So I felt like this episode was a bit of a good little piece to show that, yeah, The Walking Dead can work even if it's not full of a bunch of walkers all throughout the episode. Like when we're mainly just focusing on these characters and kind of what they're going through in life in this post-apocalyptic world, or however you would describe it, we can still get interesting stories out of them, and we can still learn more about these characters, and we can still, see them, see who they are, and get deeper and deeper understandings of them. Because one thing about a zombie apocalypse is just the fact that, I mean, yeah, it's cool to watch people like fight and survive for their life and be scared of zombies and have to do these terrible, crazy things that you would never do in real life. But one thing about it is it lends a bit, but it doesn't lend a lot to, like, to character development and character, revelation. Like, it doesn't show you a lot about the characters, only because most of the stuff that these characters have gone through so far this series, in general, most people would react to it the way that they react to it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that unique that somebody would react to being like chased down by a zombie and having to shoot and kill it, with fear and terror and disgust and all that type of stuff that we've oftentimes seen. So it was cool that this episode we kind of got to see the characters, in a bit more of an isolated environment, and just kind of, going through what they're going through. Like Shane, he, this whole thing with him killing Otis and whatnot, like that in and of itself was very, very interesting. It's like, okay, like I talked about that last episode, like the kind of the implications of that type of choice, and like, what it means, what the moral ramifications are, or anything, da 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 da, blah blah blah. But this episode, we kind of saw, now we see how Shane deals with doing something like that. Like, he lies about it to the people, then he starts kind of trying to justify it in his own head and whatnot. And I feel like that's when you start to get to a place where you're not just watching characters, react to crazy things happening to them, but you're actually starting to learn about who these people are as people and how they deal with things in life. And you start to learn more about them. So I thought that was something that made this episode pretty cool. We got to see that Herschel is a little more nuanced than just, the very helpful, happy-go-lucky, wizened man who can save the day and knows how to fix problems and whatnot. Because, he still, even though he's been helping them so much, he told Rick, like, I do expect for you to leave when all of this is done and whatnot. And I'm not here to just be your, your savior forever. And I thought that was kind of just an interesting take and an interesting thing to have him do, because it was totally fair of him to say. And then I thought Rick later coming to him and saying, I need you to reconsider, or something like that. However he put it, like, he didn't say would you reconsider? Like, he didn't ask him. Like, he said it in a way like, I need for you to do this. I thought that was very interesting on Rick's part too, for him to kind of come back and say that to him. I feel like those conversations that Herschel and Rick had this episode just really put a highlight on how much responsibility these guys feel to the people around them, and the people that they feel like, they're meant to be, I guess, protecting or helping, if you will. Like, Herschel, he's like, at the end of the day, this is my property, this is my family. We don't know what type of liability having you guys on the property may be. So you would need to leave. We're happy to help how we have, but this can't go on forever, because at the end of the day, we are our priority. And Rick kind of said the same thing, like, I understand all that. This is your property. I'm respectful of that. But at the same time, I need for these people to be safe too. And if that means, putting you on the spot like this and maybe overstepping boundaries and asking for a little bit more than I probably should, I'm going to do that. And I'm going to do it with confidence, because I really care about, about these people, and I'm going to do what I need to do. So I felt like that was very interesting to see between both of them. And it gave us, it's stuff that we knew this about Rick, but it's nice seeing it reinforced even more and more. You know what I mean? So it still feels like we're constantly like learning more about these characters. The Cherokee Rose monologue that Daryl gave was a really nice moment. That was probably one of my favorite scenes of the show. I feel like that was a scene that could have easily been, kind of messed up and not really executed well. Because sometimes when you try to pull off something, like those deep monologues of how something is symbolic and metaphorical, it can come across kind of like if you don't do it right. But I feel like they did a good job with it here, and it came across, sincere. It came across like something that you could actually see sort of helping that character get through it. And also it helps us as an audience, like still think, okay, maybe there is some hope. This Cherokee Rose acted as a nice symbol of optimism. I felt like it's something that I can maybe expect to see come back up later in the show, and I'll be looking out for it because I'll know that when I see that, I'll know what that means. So I just got the feeling that there's more to that than all we saw this episode. Maybe not, but to me personally, I just felt like there's some weight to this that I feel like is going to make this Cherokee Rose perhaps be brought back at some point. I'm glad that Carl woke up. That's awesome. Glenn and the farmer's daughter, that was a cool scene. Them trying to pull that thing out of the well was, I guess they needed something this episode, to give them like a task to be trying to accomplish. And like, they still threw it was a little bit of a, an aspect of the whole Walker thing and the Walking Dead lore. At the same time, it was a little, I guess, was that the only well? Like, I'm just kind of confused about that because it just feels like that thing was down there. Like, that water was contaminated, man. Either way, like, there's probably like stuff like pus, I don't know, like coming out of its pores or something. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm like, either way. And then they probably been drinking that water anyway with that thing in there. I'm like, geez, man. But, I guess I can still see why they would want to pull it out, obviously. And I can still see why they wouldn't want to just shoot it and blow the guts all in the water because that would make it way worse. But yeah, I was just like, this is still disgusting. I would not want to drink this water either way at this point. But I guess if they didn't have another choice than that, I understand. Then Lori going out and, seeing a positive pregnancy test. That's going to lead to, first of all, why didn't she just go in the bathroom and lock the door? Like, is there a reason why she couldn't have done that I'm missing? I don't know. Because I was like, why is she going out to the woods with a knife? I thought she was about to do some demented stuff. Like, but yeah, like, do the bathrooms not have locks or something? Or like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just overthinking that. I'm trying to think why she couldn't have just gone into a bathroom. I'm sure there's a good reason that I'm just not thinking about. But anyway, yeah, that should have some crazy implications. Like, well, I think it does have some crazy implications. It should lead to some crazy developments. Like, a pregnancy in this climate, in this economy, I don't know, man. It doesn't seem like a good idea. So, I don't, wherever this is headed, that's crazy. A pregnancy alone is enough for, like, yeah. Now, add on to the fact that it's probably not even Rick's child. So, like, it's pretty much definitely not Rick's child because, if it was, that would make things a little too easy. They'd still be hard, but they'd still be a little too easy. You know what I mean? Unless it is Rick's child and they're trying to fake us out, us and the characters, and make it think that it's Shane's child, but then it actually does end up being Rick's child, and they're just doing this still to play for the drama of it maybe having been Shane's child, but eventually they'll find out that it's not. I don't know. It's like sometimes you get in that thing of, they know that I know, so maybe it actually is Rick's child. Actually, I might slick think that it is Rick's child and they're trying to fake us out. I don't know. Either way, it's definitely going to be drama that it might be Shane's child. And so she's going to think that it's Shane's child and it's going to be a whole big thing. And that might be how they'll end up finding out. Maybe that's how Rick will find out what Shane and Lori did. I don't know. There's nowhere good that this can go, except for the fact that maybe the baby will be a great person and they'll love it and they'll be happy in that regard. But other than that, there's nowhere good that this can go. Okay? So, I don't know what else to say, man. Oh, Sophia. Hope that they find Sophia. I'm starting to think that they're not going to find Sophia for a while. I don't know how much longer they can stretch this out. What is this, episode 4? Like, I feel like maybe episode 6 or episode 7, they might be got to find Sophia. That's going to be it for now. Comment down below. Let me know what you thought about the episode. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more. And head on over to Patreon for full uncut reactions to The Walking Dead weeks ahead of the YouTube schedule, if you're interested. That's going to be it for now. I'll see you all later.